el vocabulario que está en Language Note. Okay.
Sí.
It says you will find the following vocabulary, okay, like abnormal, disproportionate, imbalance, inadequate, incorrect, inoperable, insufficient, and stuff like that. All like
Correct.
negative words or things, words, vocabulary that will describe to lead the problems. Okay, like oh, it's because of this.
Okay.
It happens because of this. So
Mm,
that's for another part. Let's do go to the book. In that page, it's page 42 actually. And it says describing the causes of faults.
mm.
Okay. And could you please read the instructions? Number 8.
Number 8 is look at the following strategies for preventing and dealing with technical problems in aviations. In pairs, discuss what is meant by the following terms and how they are used by engineers and pilots.
Okay, thank
Number
you. So we're going to
mhm,
talk about aviation now, airplanes and stuff like that. And you have four vocabulary words:
right.
checklist, standard procedures, backup installations, and planned maintenance.
Right.
Okay, planned maintenance. So what is
And,
meant? What do you understand of
uh-huh.
checklists?
Checklist. Okay. Checklist is a serial of inspections, serial
Uh-huh.
inspections where to uh, I have to confirm. I have to confirm. Well, that point is good. I mean, giving uh, one information like is bad or is good or no good or no applicable. Uh, it's interesting
Mhm.
because for all persons is necessary check before before the work is performance or be performance uh, or final of the schedule job or is necessary the checklist uh, where it show several points when uh, when I well in this case I mean in this case is I can check the condition of the systems and where I need to check the I don't know functions. I need to check the
Okay.
function like that. No, it sounds like that for checklist.
Yes, it will be like a list of things to be checked. Then the standard procedures.
Okay, standard procedures. Uh, it's a process where I have to take like a procedure or routine when I check the conditions or I have one list a list
Mhm.
to repair one system, etc. No, it's a standard procedures.
Yes, well, in this case, it's something like something that is already established in order to
Okay.
deal or
Uh-huh.
assess situations and problems.
All right. All right.
Yes, perfect. Then you have the backup installations.
Well, in this case, backup installation, I think is information like the registers or records when
Okay.
I have to take always to install, I don't know, one component or install equipment, etc. No, I think it's
Okay.
that backup. No,
Okay. Okay. Well, um, actually,
Uh-huh.
We have like two different ways of describing the backup installation. It can be, as you
Mhm,
said, the information, like technology and stuff like that, but it can also
mhm,
deal or do with physical systems, like engines and
right.
stuff like that. So in this case, a backup installation will be described as an additional equipment or a
Uh-huh.
secondary in case the
Mhm.
primary or the main objective fail.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
that's
All
like
right.
the main problem in here.
Mhm.
And the last one, what about the plant maintenance?
Well, planning maintenance is a routine where different equipment it's explained on the manual or operation and maintenance manual uh, to follow where it follows one procedure to change different uh, the materials or
Uh-huh.
components with a life cycle with a life cycle necessary to the equipment. No, I
Yes.
think it's that planet maintenance.
Yes. Well, yes. It's like
Mhm.
replacing the parts at planet times.
Okay.
Even if they're even if it's not like necessary. So.
This planet maintenance is so well scheduled, no, scheduled,
Mm-hmm.
or scheduling is necessary. Yes,
Yes,
but
actually is.
always talking about time. No.
Yeah. And well, now that we know what a checklist is, what a standard procedure is, what a backup installation, what a plant maintenance is, so we have this short dialogue, article in
Uh-huh.
here about the right. We have a problem. It's like the typical airplane or air phrase. You might
Right.
remember the one of I don't know if it was from an Apollo a space shoot or something like that. That it's like Houston, we have a problem.
Uh-huh.
So that traditional phrase it's used a lot when we talk about in this case aeronautic problems, issues, and stuff like that. So talking about the flights, like a typical flight, we have this phrase, we have a problem. And this is a true story of the Air Transat Flight 236. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's read
Mhm.
the history about this flight. I don't know if you know this or you have listened of this. Have you
Okay.
ever listened of this story of the Transit Flight 236?
I don't remember that, but I transat flight 236. Well, I hear different histories about
Mm-hmm.
failure analysis,
Mm-hmm.
talking about airplanes, but I don't remember in this case that story. No, let me check. I need to read this story.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read. The chain of events began during routine maintenance. Okay, work on an Air Transat Airbus A330
Mm-hmm.
and correct hydraulic pipe was fitted to the right-hand engine. All right, okay. It's very common. The component was oversized, leaving inadequate clearance with an
Adjacent. Uh-huh.
adjacent fuel line. All right. Subsequently, the two pipes rubbed together, causing the fuel line to wear progressively. Okay. The problem went undetected mhm, until the night of August 24 to 2001 at 30, 35,000 feet above the Atlantic. All right. With the flights 236 and en route from Toronto to Lisbon, carrying 306 people, the fuel line ruptured, resulting in a major leak. Oops, that's bad. Less
Mhm.
than 2 hours later, the aircraft was completely out of fuel, leading silently throughout the night sky. Very
Okay,
bad.
so
Very bad.
let's take out some definitions in here, and
Mhm.
it's about this. I want to know about hydraulic pipe, the fuel line, the ruptured, and gliding. These
Mhm.
four words, you read it in the article. Okay,
Yes.
so talking about an hydraulic pipe, what I just want to mention in here is you might know what it is.
Well, it's a line, hydraulic lines, where
Mhm.
the oil flow uh, through that through that material into a material. So
Yes.
it's
It's
a
described like a high pressure oil pipe, isn't it?
to high pressure. Yes.
Uh-huh. Then you have the fuel line. Okay.
In this
That,
case, is
well,
is is hose. Is
yes, it's
hose.
like a fuel hose.
Uh,
Okay. Then
yes.
you have the rupture. I think that is described in
Broken.
just one word. It's something that it's broken
Broken.
or
Yes.
cracked.
Yes. Broken or cracked.
Like broken or cracked, like the cookies, crackets.
Or
Okay. And well, gliding. I don't know if you listen the parachute gliding sport, extreme sport, parachute gliding. Have you ever listened of that?
I don't remember the name.
Parachute gliding,
Uh-huh.
parachute gliding, it's when you throw yourself from an
Uh-huh.
airplane
Mm-hmm.
into the air and you then use a parachute, paracaídas.
All right.
So parachute gliding, it's when you do that. You
Oh,
jump into the air and you just, and I'm gonna write it in here, you go flying without
without
power,
without
okay?
power. Oh, okay.
Es decir, ahí
Uh,
flotando
flotando, gliding,
o
okay.
cayendo con el mismo aire.
Mm,
Okay,
yes.
that's the gliding.
I have to identify that terms because the synonym I have different synonyms like
Okay.
floating or I don't know, but in this case, it's in the air without power. Okay.
Yes, exact. So when
Okay.
it's in the air and there's like no propulsion or engine that
Okay.
power
Uh-huh.
the machine into the air, then it's
Uh-huh.
gliding. That means it has no power. It is still in the air, but it's going down and down and down
Uh-huh.
because of the air and the gravity, of
All
course.
right. All right.
Okay, so let me erase this.
Yeah, please.
And let's change to the book.
Good. Very good. Mm.
Okay, there it is. So we have three questions now. Look at them. Could you please read the questions?
Yep. Yep. How did the problem start? Number one. And number two, what were the initial wounds and consequences? And number three, what were the subsequent consequences?
Uh-huh.
All
So
right.
we're talking about a main problem and then the consequences that that main problem caused.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how did the problem start? So
All
according to
right.
what you read, let's answer these three questions.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Well, this case is
Mhm.
uh, how did the problem start? Okay, the problem start when with an incorrect hydraulic pipe was fitted
Okay.
to the right hand engine, no? Maybe it's a initial problem or problem start, no?
Yes,
I think
so it
it's
was
that.
like an, as you said, an incorrect,
Uh-huh.
and it's one of the words of the vocabulary, incorrect, an incorrect or oversized hydraulic pipe that was fitted.
All right.
So that was
Okay.
the initial problem, okay?
Okay. Okay. The second question is
Uh-huh.
what were the initial unsound consequence? Okay. In this case, what initial consequence? Um, in this case,
Mhm.
pipe rubit, the pipe rubit with the
Against, against
uh,
what?
against a fuel line, right?
A fuel line, yes, exactly. So that was the
Okay.
initial problem. That collision or rivet
Uh-huh.
caused the damage. And then,
All right.
according to that damage, what were the subsequent consequences? What happened after that?
Exactly. What were the subsequent consequence? In this case, the subsequent consequence was the fuel line ruptured,
Uh-huh.
resulting in a major leak. Yes.
Exactly. So that was like the second consequence because of the rivet of the pipe and the fuel line.
Exactly. Mhm.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Now, we have in here, letter B, we have a sequence events that follow the fuel leak on the Airbus A300 ferry using some
Uh-huh.
extracts like A through D. So what you have to do in here, and I'd rather say, I'd like this to be your homework,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Okay.
Do you have to complete the schedule? Es un itinerario.
Okay.
So you have 4 different activities in here, okay? And you have to attach them inside this schedule. So you have to think which one would be the right order.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And you have in here the 4 different situations
Mm-hmm.
that happened since the beginning of the rivet between the pipe and the fuel line until the fuel line ruptured in the air
Mm-hmm.
and it had a major leak and the aircraft stayed without no fuel.
All right. All right.
Okay, and I actually like to do that. So you have to read the text, the schedule, and read the other activities, so
Yes,
that
yes,
you
yes.
know, oh, this happened first, and then this one, and stuff like that. Okay.
In this case, I have to express the in time, always in time, or
Well,
just
you have the hour in that part. Like for
okay.
example, 4:38. Well,
Uh-huh.
the this is like the record, the
Okay,
register
okay,
of the
okay.
activity.
Register. Okay.
So 438, the flight data recorder registered an abnormal increase in the fuel
Mm-hmm.
consumption.
All right.
So this is like the first register of the problem. And
Good.
then what
Good.
happened at 4:58? An
58.
alarm sounded, the aircraft was
Uh,
now powerless, the crew decided to take action, or during a routine instrument check, the crew noticed disproportionate amount of oil.
okay, I have
So
to
you have,
identify the
uh-huh,
activity.
like what
Uh-huh.
happened next? What was the second action that
Good.
happened during this problem? And you go
Okay.
like that with 536, 613, and 627.
Good. It's okay.
Mhm. And that will be your homework actually. And as you might see in here,
Mm-hmm.
the video it's already on YouTube, the one of the
Okay.
last session. Here it is in engineering session English
Mm-hmm.
20 session in 25.
25. Mm-hmm.
So let me just save this and you can check it out now on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
upload this session right now.